Welcome to Channel 8 News.
On today's show, we'll find out how K-State Salina is taking their flight program to a national level. And later, we'll see how K-State students are competing to make their ideas become a reality.
It's all coming up on Channel 8 News. But first, let's take a look outside with weatherman Nathan Sage. Nathan, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, guys. As you can see, last week was easy breezy and beautiful outside. This week, not so much. I'll let you know how long this weather will last. Coming up with my 5-day forecast and what you can expect for your Halloween weekend. You are watching Channel 8 News.
Channel 8 News, KKSU LP. For Manhattan and Riley County. From Kansas State University, this is Channel 8 News.
Welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Caitlin Heyer.
And I'm Michaela Gentine.
Drones are increasingly making headlines in the U.S. With possible new FAA regulations on the horizon, Kansas State University is revolutionizing the unmanned aircraft systems industry by providing a unique and safe place for students to learn, develop, and test drones.
Kansas State Polytechnic campus in Salina has just completed construction on the largest enclosed unmanned aircraft system facility in the country. Students studying UAS now have a brand new facility to learn, train, and research just steps from the classroom.
For us and for our students, it means the students graduate with a lot more flight time and a lot more experience. So if they have 20 minutes between class, they can just step out here, do some practice work, whereas before they really had to go off campus and deploy, take their equipment, find the location, and then pack it all up. And it was a 2-hour process at very minimum.
Prior to the construction, students were not allowed to operate on the Salina campus due to their proximity to Salina Regional Airport and FAA regulations.
It makes me excited that we're going to be able to attract new people to come in here, to bring in new connections that probably wouldn't have happened unless this facility would have been built. So I'm excited for the unforeseeable.
The UAS Pavilion is also attracting industry interest, with project partner Westar Energy planning to use the facility for the training of their staff and developing ways drone technology can benefit the energy industry and their customers in times of crisis.
I see a world where we can send these devices out to take video of the line and report back, immediately after the storm is over with, which would, speed up response time and restoration time in those kinds of events significantly.
K-State Polytechnic started offering the UAS Operations Bachelor Degree program in 2011, with enrollment growing each year, and added a second degree in the fall of 2015.
25 wooden poles were donated and installed by Westar Energy for the pavilion. And just in case a storm does come around, the special netting was fabricated to withstand winds of up to 150 miles per hour.
Do you think you can swim with the sharks? Is there a business idea you're itching to develop? If so, the College of Business can help launch your business from the ground up. K-State launches the university's new version of Shark Tank. Launches an entrepreneurial idea competition that awards a total of $20,000 each year to K-State students with new venture ideas. Dr. Chad Jackson, Director of Advancement for Entrepreneurship, says the idea of the program prepares student entrepreneurs to pitch ideas to business leaders.
Polytechnic campus in Salina has just completed.
Then I have a panel of judges who will review all of those plans. They'll read them, they'll do some basic research, they'll get to understand the idea, and ultimately select the top 16 teams. Those 16 then get to come in and pitch their idea to a separate panel of judges. And these judges are, as you've said, businessmen and women, investors, business leaders, alumni, really great people who have come back to help us support student entrepreneurs.
Finalists will be announced November 2nd, with the finals being held on November 11th. Go online to the launch homepage to find out more information.
The Kansas State University Choir performed on Friday night at Mccain Auditorium. The event was originally planned to take place at the All Faiths Chapel. However, due to success in ticket sales, the event was moved from the 511-seat All Faiths Chapel to the 1,751 McCain-seat auditorium. The concert was directed by Dr. Joshua Oppenheim.
Yesterday at 11:45 a.m., Manhattan High School administration was alerted to an unauthorized entry on the West Campus. MHS Principal Greg Hoyt released that the entry happened at the student entrance as students arrived for school. The individual interacted with the student, but Principal Hoyt stated in the release that no threat was made. Principal Hoyt encourages parents, students, and teachers to remain vigilant about school safety, especially during the beginning and end of the school day. Yesterday, AT&T began installing fiber optic equipment on Anderson Avenue. If you're driving westbound on Anderson from Sunset Avenue to College Heights Avenue, expect some lane restrictions and delays. As the AT&T workers complete the installation in the outer lane of Anderson, there will be a traffic control in place to help traffic from work zones. The installation will continue into the next week.
Coming up after the break, we'll find out about a new attraction coming to Manhattan.
And we'll also see what the public library is doing to get teens more interested in reading. Keep it here on Channel 8 News.
It was a routine grain elevator inspection until the explosions began. Until a blast tossed him more than 300 feet. Then it became the event that changed Kevin Saunders forever. The body of this K-State alum was broken, but his spirit, well, that spirit not only survived, it thrived. Against all odds, Saunders transformed himself into the world's greatest wheelchair athlete, one of America's premier motivational speakers, and the first Paralympian appointed to the President's Council on Physical Fitness, Sport, and Nutrition. Where there's a wildcat, there's a way. Wired magazine calls him the explainer. His students call him amazing. Over 20 million YouTube views show that Associate Anthropology Professor Michael Wesch is transforming higher education. Translated to more than 20 languages and counting, Professor Wesch's teachings still share one common voice: passion. And whether you're learning live or online, that passion is contagious. And that passion is one of the leading reasons Kansas State University is first among U.S. public research universities in producing U.S. Case Carnegie Professors of the Year. Where there's a wildcat, there's a way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. You may have noticed that Sears has left the Manhattan Town Center. There is, however, something exciting replacing it. The mall will soon provide more than shopping and food entertainment when it opens up the new IMAX movie theater. Channel 8 reporter Jay Woofter has the story.
Manhattan Town Center is making some changes. One of its long-term anchor stores, Sears, has chosen to leave its downtown location, but marketing manager Jeff Sutton says that local residents have something to look forward to.
So we're excited to unveil plans to bring in Carmike Cinemas, 13 screens. One of those screens is a 575-seat IMAX auditorium, one of the only few IMAX theaters in the state of Kansas. We'll have 5 screens that have dining options, so there'll be a full restaurant capability within the Carmike Cinemas, and just an exciting opportunity to have a great entertainment option for people in downtown Manhattan.
The new IMAX is an exciting development for downtown, but how does Manhattan Town Center plan to keep these new tenants?
Manhattan Town Center takes really great pride in offering a good tenant mix here, whether it's a restaurant to dine at, something fast to catch food in the food court, clothing options, retail store options, bookstore. And this just is part of that mix that gives people a neat experience when they come to downtown Manhattan, and specifically Manhattan Town Center, to provide them alternatives and things that are state of the art for them to come and participate in. If they, family wants to catch a dinner, see a movie, they can do it all right here at Manhattan Town Center.
The theater has yet to announce an opening date, but Sutton is confident it'll be open by the end of 2016. For Channel 8 News, I'm Jay Woofter.
Sounds like the new IMAX will be quite a boost to downtown.
Definitely. I can't wait to have some dinner and watch a movie on the new IMAX screens. It will definitely make a great night out.
The Manhattan Public Library is finding ways to connect with teenagers in the community. The library's Teen Library Advisory Board, or T-Lab, is a program that was started by the public library's first young adult librarian back in 2007. The program aims to connect teenagers to the library by giving them opportunities to discuss books they are interested in and to help the library decide what kinds of reading materials should be added to the shelves. The advisory board also lends a hand in helping the library plan events and reading programs for teens and tweens. While the advisory board's main goal is to help the library stay current in what teens are interested in, Jennifer Bergen, the youth services manager, believes it's a great way to keep teens involved.
And it's a group that they can be a part of and feel like they have actually been able to make a difference in something in their community, something that can be for a much broader audience than just themselves. So I think that's another cool aspect of it. It's just a place where they can feel that they are actually adding to our community.
I'm sorry. Coming up after the break, we'll find out which favorite fall item we might be having less of this season.
And with Halloween coming up this weekend, we'll take a sneak peek at what some children in Manhattan may be wearing when they show up at your doorstep this Saturday.
We'll also take a look at weather and see just how frightening the weather may be this Halloween. Stay with us.
A Wildcat legacy from generation to generation.
Where my grandfather went to school.
Where my mother went to school.
It's a legacy scholarship program started by the K-State Alumni Association, specifically for the children and grandchildren of K-State alumni. When you buy a K-State license plate, you fund legacy scholarships.
Show your purple pride and be a part of the Wildcat legacy.
Kansas State University's PowerCat Financial Counseling presents SALT, a game-changing financial tool. It's simple, useful, and best of all, free for K-State students and alumni. SALT provides personal money coaches, help with student loans, and a wide range of career opportunities. Go online to kstate.edu/SALT and see what SALT is all about. Get money smart today.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Line's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Pumpkin fever is back. This means pumpkin pies, pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin bread, and many more pumpkin treats. But how long will the pumpkin craze last? Nationally, pumpkin crops have been down by about half this year. Across the country, harvesters are planning to conclude the season much earlier than usual. Britt Farms pumpkin patch owner Angela Britt will tell us if this pumpkin shortage will affect Manhattan, Kansas, or if enough jack-o'-lanterns will be in attendance on Halloween.
We haven't experienced the shortage as much, though, as other areas of the country because we plant our pumpkins in June, and there was all that rain in May, and that's what made a shortage in other areas that would have otherwise usually planted in May.
It looks like, luckily for us, there's going to be plenty of pumpkins going around Manhattan this year, which means there's more pumpkin pies and pumpkin spice lattes to be made. Now everyone can continue carving their Halloween pumpkins and know that Britt's Farms is still in stock. Britt's Farm is also equipped with a petting zoo, hay rides, and corn mazes. The pumpkin patch will stay open until November 1st, so be sure to enjoy the fall season while it lasts.
Gremlins, goblins, and ghouls, you may be seeing less pumpkins this season, but you definitely won't be seeing less children ready for Halloween. These are some of the costumes you may be seeing this Saturday.
That's right, Caitlin. Channel 8's Woman on the Street, Ashlyn Turner, went out into the community to ask children what they are going to be for Halloween this year.
I got a chance to talk to a few kiddos to ask them what they're going to be for Halloween and what they were looking forward to most in their candy bucket. What are you going to be for Halloween?
I'm going to be a cheerleader.
A cheerleader?
Yes, I am. I'm a wizard from Hogwarts because I really like the movies. And I have been to Potter World and it was really fun, so I decided that's what I would be this year.
And what are you going to be for Halloween? Ooh, that was good.
My favorite candy is chocolate bars and honey.
I know Saturday night I'll be sitting on the front porch with a bucket full of candy waiting for those little kiddos in their cute outfits. I'm Ashlyn Turner, reporting for Channel 8 News.
Those are going to be some pretty great costumes. What are you going to be for Halloween, Caitlin?
Michaela, honestly, Halloween's not really my thing. I'd rather go see what everyone else is wearing. So, what are you going to dress up as this year, Michaela?
I love dressing up. I haven't gotten my outfit completely planned out this year, but I think I'm going to be a witch.
You can't go wrong with a classic witch outfit. Halloween was always fun as a kid, but I always had to bundle up, and it was never fun. So, especially when I went out to go trick-or-treating. So hopefully the weather won't make everyone have to cover up their awesome costumes this year.
Nathan Sage is now in the studio with us to tell us what we can expect this week. Nathan, is the weather going to be trick or a treat this year?
Well, ladies, right now it's a little tricky outside. Like I said earlier, it's gloomy. It's not as easy and breezy as it was before. But if you look at our national temperatures, you can see throughout the nation, it's pretty mild temperatures. In Seattle, Washington, 50 degrees. Down in San Francisco, another 63. But if you look in Texas right now, you can see the 70 degrees mark down there. It's a little bit warmer. But down on the East Coast, here in New York, you have 55 degrees. It's mainly due to the rain. If you look at if we can go to the national map and we can check out that rain on the East Coast, it's pushing off. It's pushing those temperatures a little bit lower. That's why on the West Coast, we have that sun coming in, that lower pressure system pushing the weather out here. And that's going to affect us for the rest of the week. And let's see how it does. Let's see how it does right now in the Kansas. If we look at the Kansas map, right now, like I said, we're in the mild temperatures, a nice 65 degrees down in Wichita. Right here in Manhattan, we have 60 degrees, 59 degrees on the west side of Kansas. And in Kansas City, for the game tonight, we have 56 degrees right now. Let's look at our 5-day forecast if we can, see how we're going to do for the rest of the week. Right now, it's, like I said, it's 50-some degrees right now, but it's 62 degrees on your Wednesday, 35 degrees for a low on your Thursday, 58 degrees, 38 for your low. For your Friday, 62 degrees and some rain. It's going to drop those temperatures a little bit for your Friday. And for a low, 45. For your Saturday, 63 for the daytime, but a 41. So if you have a child or you are just one of those girls that likes to dress a little skimpy on your Halloween, be careful because it's going to be 41 degrees for a low. You might want to bundle up. And then on your Sunday, as you can see, there's your treat, 71 degrees. 47 degrees for a low, and that looks like our 5-day forecast. Back to you, ladies, at the desk.
Thanks, Nathan. Looks like kids might have to bring a jacket while they're trick-or-treating this year.
Coming up after the break, sports reporter Avery Osen will join us to update us on everything going on in the sports world.
K-State Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Line's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15-10, 5, touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
What makes undergraduates stay in school, thrive, and graduate? K-State professor Greg Eislein knows. Classes that create a learning community. Professors who stir curiosity. Involve students in their own education. Motivate them to look at things in new and surprising ways. That's why he's Carnegie Case Kansas Professor of the Year. That's the Wildcat way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News.
We're now going to throw it over to sports reporter Avery Osen to get up to date on the good and the bad that comes with being a sports fan in Kansas.
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin. It was September 19th. The Kansas State football team had just defeated Louisiana Tech University in triple overtime and were 3-0 before starting Big 12 play. Man, does that seem like a long time ago. More than a month later, the Wildcats have yet to win a game and have been outscored 166-88 in the past 4 contests. The Wildcats hope to end that losing streak when they travel to Austin, Texas to take on the Longhorns this past Saturday. Let's look at the highlights. Second quarter, Cats needing a score before the half as Joe Hubner finds Dominique Keith for the score, his second of the season. That would be about all the cheering opportunity Wildcat fans would have, though, besides this 36-yard field goal by Jack Cantelli. Cats down 7 at that point. They end up losing 23-9. They fall to 3-4 overall and 0-4 in Big 12 play. They have this next Saturday off before facing off against the Baylor Bears on national television on Thursday, November 5th. This past Tuesday, head coach Bill Snyder talked about the offensive issues.
This offensive line, in particular, left tackle Cody Whitehair from the Outland watch list, the Lombardi watch list.
Bill Snyder just saying that he needs to get his team back in gear before they play on national TV against Baylor. I hope you bought a ticket because this season has been a roller coaster ride for the KSU volleyball team. They started the season 8-1, then struggled for their next 7 matches, but now have won their last 3 of 4 contests, and in those 3 wins, they have yet to drop a set. Let's take a look at their upcoming schedule. The Wildcats travel to Morgantown, West Virginia to take on the Mountaineers on Wednesday after they have 4 straight home matches after that, beginning on Halloween night against TCU. Following that, they host Texas Tech, Oklahoma, and then Iowa State before facing number 2 ranked Texas on November 21st. Right now, the Wildcats are 12-8 overall and 4-4 in Big 12 play, which is good enough for 5th place in the conference. It's a big week for the Kansas State cross-country teams as they prepare for the Big 12 championships in Stillwater, Oklahoma this coming Saturday. Last season, Morgan Wedekind finished in 20th for the women's team, and they placed 6th as a team. On the men's side, Jeff Bachman was the top finisher for KSU as he finished in 51st place, and the team ended the meet in 8th. After the Big 12 meet, both teams will compete in regionals, which will be at Rimrock Farm in Lawrence on October 31st. Not 1, not 2, not 3. I'm running out of breath. But how about 9? Manhattan High School ended their season with 9 straight victories last Thursday with an 11-1 rout against rival Junction City. The Indians allowed their first goal in 8 games. That's 640 minutes of shutout soccer. Pretty impressive right there. Captain Kirk, no, not the one from Star Trek. It's Kirtland Lambert, senior forward, who had 2 goals in the match. The Indians finished the season 13-3, and their goal is sky high as the Indians head towards the playoffs. They received the 3 seed for regionals, and they will host Derby High School tonight at 6 p.m. at Bishop Stadium. Switching gears, the Kansas City Royals sure are doing their best to be the next team with a movie made after them. After a historic run to the World Series last year for a fan base that hadn't seen October baseball in 29 years, and now this year becoming the first team in over 80 years to host Game 1 of the World Series in back-to-back seasons. In case you hadn't heard, the Royals defeated the Toronto Blue Jays in 6 games in the ALCS to advance to their 2nd straight World Series. They take on the New York Mets tonight, who cruised through the Chicago Cubs in the NLCS, winning 4-0. The Royals will start Edison Volquez in Game 1 as the Mets have their ace Matt Harvey on the hill. Game 1 begins tonight at 7:07 on Fox.
So what's the pitching rotation for the Royals this series, Avery?
Well, Caitlin, like I said, they will start Edison Volquez tonight for Game 1. Johnny Cueto, who they picked up in a big trade acquisition this past summer, in Game 2. Yordano Ventura in New York for Game 3. And Chris Young for Game 4. After that, they will play it by ear to see how the rest of the series is turning out.
And I see the Kansas City Chiefs won this past Saturday.
Yeah, that's right, Michaela. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are playing on their 3rd-string quarterback, on Sunday at Arrowhead 23-13. It was actually their first win since Week 1. Next up, they'll travel across the pond to play the Detroit Lions in London this Sunday.
One last thing, Avery. K-State basketball teams looks like they're getting ready to start their season?
Yeah, every year it seems like it begins a little bit earlier, Caitlin. But yes, the men begin their season on Friday night when they host Emporia State, and the women begin their season on Monday at 6 p.m. when they host Washburn.
Thanks, Avery. Lots going on in the sports world this time of year.
We'll be right back with more Channel 8 News.
Student Radio brings every game to K-State fans on the Wildcat 91.9.
Klein's going to take a pitch out to the right. Hubert dices his way up and into the end zone for the Wildcat touchdown. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw deep over the middle of the field for Tyler Lockett. Catches it. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kansas State.
For all of your K-State sports coverage, tune into the Wildcat 91.9.
What makes undergraduates stay in school, thrive, and graduate? K-State professor Greg Eislein knows. Classes that create a learning community. Professors who stir curiosity. Involve students in their own education. Motivate them to look at things in new and surprising ways. That's why he's Carnegie Case Kansas Professor of the Year. That's the Wildcat way.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News.
We're going to throw it back outside to Nathan for one last look at the weather. Nathan?
Like I said, it's going to be colder through the rest of the week, coming into your weekend. For your holiday weekend, enjoy your cool temperatures, because hopefully next week we get back to those easy, breezy, beautiful conditions.
Thanks again, Nathan. Hopefully things will look better next week. This year's Spooktacular was one of the most successful years yet, reaching record-breaking attendance.
That's right, Caitlin. Sunset Zoo welcomed nearly 8,000 community members over the weekend event and also achieved a milestone record of over 81,000 guests for the year. That was the first time attendance reached this level in its 81-year history.
We leave you with some highlights from Manhattan Sunset Zoo Spooktacular festivities and song performed by the Manhattan High School Varsity Choir. Michaela, you have any big Halloween plans this weekend?
I think I'm going to go out and have fun with friends, and I'm really excited to wear my witch costume this year, so we'll see how that goes.
That's exciting. I'm going to hopefully be cheering on those Volley Cats over at Ahern this weekend. So thanks for watching Channel 8 News. Have a safe and festive Halloween, and we'll see you next week.
Our hearts were pounding, pounding,
What makes undergraduates stay in school, thrive, and graduate? K-State professor Greg Eislein knows. Classes that create a learning community. Professors who stir curiosity. Involve students in their own education. Motivate them to look at things in new and surprising ways. That's why he's Carnegie Case Kansas Professor of the Year. That's the Wildcat way.
From the Little Apple to the Big Apple, through internships, networking, and great professors, Lauren Bishop landed the job of her dreams, working with entertainers and celebrities for a PR firm in New York City. From backstage at the 25th anniversary of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, watching Mick Jagger and Bono rock, to London for the launch of a new luxury hotel, Lauren Bishop is living her dream. That's the Wildcat way.